Hey y'all. I hope everybody is doing well today. I am on time. No, I'm not. 2 minutes. 2 minutes behind. But I'm glad to be here. I'm not gonna hold you guys long. I say that all the time, but hey Watermelon, hey 7G 07. Girl, why you keep changing your name? But anyway, I'm glad to see you too. That's in the building. I really appreciate you guys for coming through. Hey Swift, how are you, sweetie? I'm good. How are you? Good to see you guys. Like I said, I'm not gonna hold you long, but I wanted to um show y'all some things. Hey Dimple D, what's up? Um, I know it's a lot going on in this world. I was supposed to go live yesterday, but it was Sunday and I knew the Cowboys was playing, so shout out to the Cowboys. 40 to what, 0? Oh my goodness. Yes, they whooped them. They whooped them, honey. So shout out to the Cowboys. Hi, Professor Lovely. How are you, sweetie? Good. I'm so glad you guys came in. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Brother Polite and Danny Matherson. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right, but he was one of the actors in the '70s show. I don't know if any of you guys from Hey Gary, any of you guys familiar with him acting with Ashton Kutcher, I believe. And so they really kind of grew up together on that show, and in the midst of him, I guess he ended up getting into the Church of Scientology. I believe maybe he might have been raised up in the Church of Scientology. And if you are familiar with Hollywood, a lot of Hollywood either goes to Kabali, what is it? Not Kabali. It's something with Kabali or something like that, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. But they either do that or they Catholicism. Is that it? Somebody's gonna have to help me. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's either Scientology or they're in Kabbalah. Yes, I believe it's Kabbalah. And it's really kind of strange. Hey, how you doing, brother Ben? Moshi. I hope I'm saying your name right. But yeah, so they either go to Scientology or Kabbalah. And those two religions are really like popular in the Hollywood. And this young man was a young actor as well. He started out acting at age 11 until I guess until the time he got caught doing what he was doing. And basically, um, the title of this is What You Do in the Dark Will Come in the Light. And that's for all of us. Nobody's exempt. My stuff will come out, your stuff will come out. So it's just good not to lie to yourself, about the things that you do. It's always good to be upfront with yourself and other people. And we all have lied. Hey, Chicky. We all have lied. We all have, bear false witness to another person, so we all have made mistakes, right? So the thing about it is take accountability if you did do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but my point in ensuring all of this is we have to be careful what we do in the dark, because when we do things in the dark, things have a way of coming out, when we least expect it. And especially it could be years from now, it could be a century, whatever. It could be any time in your life. Even when you're dead and gone, some things will be exposed and your maybe descendants will find out about things. So you just have to be careful what you do in the dark, because it's definitely going to come out in the light. I'm going to share with you first. I was Brother Matt K my brother Matt K sent me something on Instagram, and this is just a recap. I want to do a follow up on the lady that got hit by the brick. I know y'all tired of hearing about it, but I thought this was pretty interesting. He sent this to me, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Brother Matt K, and this was really, I'm really glad that he sent this because, um, you know, it's very enlightening. I'm gonna tell you that. So I'm gonna share this with you guys, and let me know if you can hear it or if you can't hear it.
You walk around this world disrespecting men, hitting men, and then playing victim and painting them as perpetrators like you're just some fucking innocent woman who's getting smacked in the face by men who want your number. No, I think it's pretty clear to see actually nobody wants your number, and that's why you're pissed off. That's why you need to make up these false scenarios. That's why you need to put other women at risk for not being believed when they come forward. And you were willing to paint all of those black men as fucking cowards, and people like me fell for it. Shame on you, shame on me, and you need to be investigated because what you're doing is fucking criminal, and people like me are making damn sure that you don't get away with it any longer. Stay tuned for a deep dive into this woman's grave because I'm about to lay her to rest. Thank you. You guys remember this woman who was hit in the face with a brick? Even though it appears that she's having the same allergic reaction she was having in this video, I think this woman set this entire thing up as a hoax. In fact, actually, I know it was a hoax. Coincidentally, every few years she gets attacked in the face by a random stranger, fails to make a police report, but makes a GoFundMe and garners thousands of dollars. Here was her first one. And her second one in 2020 where she garnered $41,000. And here's the video she used to sucker people into that money.
You grew up and they mad because you trying to fucking beat somebody. They mad because you trying to beat somebody. I'm trying to be a doctor and they mad. Look what they did to me. Look what they did to me for no reason. They don't beat me up. I'm 30 years old. They don't beat me up.
Interesting. So not once.
So this happened twice, which is interesting. This happened twice with another incident. Oh, thank you so much, Swift. I appreciate it. Thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate that.
Not twice, but 3 times you got beat up by strangers, strange black men, didn't make a police report, but made a GoFundMe. And then conveniently, when the $41,000 is probably run out, now you're back at it again, using black men as these monsters to your fucking scheme and using a very serious issue that's not taken seriously enough, which is violence against women, as some sort of like leverage to your hoax. That's absolutely sickening and disgusting. And you guys can question me all you want, but the people who were there, including the club managers, okay, all attested to the fact that this never happened. This woman was never hit in the face with a brick. The club that she was...
Wait a minute. The lady was never hit with the brick? So you mean to tell me everybody that was getting mad? And believe me, I did not want that lady to be hit with a brick. But my goodness, why would she lie like that? So what she did in the dark is coming out to the light, y'all. What she did is coming out in the light, y'all.
Standing outside of, they have security footage 24/7. They released a statement saying that there was no incident with her getting hit in the face with a brick. The 2 guys that she filmed accusing them of not doing anything, they didn't see anything. In fact, they've come out saying that they were confused because there were police parked at the gas station right across the street. So if this woman did get hit in the face with a brick, why weren't the police there? Seems like a pretty disgusting coincidence to me, and I'm not the only one questioning it. Along with the internet, articles are now coming out. And would you look at that? Apparently, she's been arrested for doing this type of shit before. What women like her are doing are just validating people who want to downplay the severity of violence against women. She's just feeding their bias, saying, look, it's not that serious of an issue. Women are lying. Now, in the future, if a woman really does get violently assaulted for not giving somebody her phone number and she goes to the internet for help, Is the internet going to
It
help her?
don't.
Probably not. I'm going to do a full deep dive into this woman, and I'm going to put it up on my YouTube because people need to be aware of these scams. The police should be aware, and she should be held criminally accountable like she has been before. And to this disgusting mother, why don't you get an actual job? Do something with your life other than this.
Wow. Shout out to Matt K for sending me that. I just could not believe it for the life of me. I mean, I was hearing some speculations over the weekend, and then I shared with you guys the video from Ringo and TV, and then I was sent this. I mean, it goes back to my title, what you do in the dark will come to the light. So you just better make sure you can hold yourself accountable when it does happen, and just say, hey, I lied, I did it. You know what I'm saying? You got all these men blaming these men we don't even know of, and she's blaming these men and we mad at them. Wow. Hey, Chase, how are you? Wow. We blaming the men, y'all. Some of us was blaming the men. Now, some of us was like, well, we don't know all the facts. I was one of them. I said, I don't know all the facts to this. Now, do I agree with some woman being hit or anybody being hit with a brick just because they don't want to give somebody their number? No. But we don't know the whole story, right? So this lady is coming across to me like she could be a scammer. That's what she coming across to me. What y'all think? There are too many inconsistencies in her story for me to know. Okay. Yeah. Men know which women need protection. Wow. That is interesting. It is a lot of inconsistencies in her story, Watermelon. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And some people called it. Some people called it. And yeah. And okay. I'm telling you, hey, Channel Forbes, we're going somewhere with this. We're going somewhere with this. I want you to see all of this. Well, what I'm about to show you. Now I'm finna go to Brother Polite. Shout out to O'Shea Du Jackson. I'm gonna share a video from him as well as Trey King. He talks a little bit about the situation with Brother Polite. Brother Polite. He done got himself in some mess, huh? Yes, yes, yes. Let me share this with you guys. Hey, Shay, what's up? This is Poetic Flacco. He talks a little bit about it. I'm going to share his video, some of it at least. I'm not going to share all of it, but sub up to him. He does a lot of good commentary about some of the things that's going on in the urban community. I'll share this.
For those who don't know, Brother Polite, head of the Crown Luscious Supreme Grand Apperception of our New Covenant community. I teach on comparative studies of monotheistic religions in retrospect to them being influenced by cultures of antiquity. I'm the author of 90 plus books, created my own language, Ndu Asusu, and presently a celebrity mentor and screenwriter, as well as debater.
What the hell did he just say? Do y'all know what he... Have you ever heard a person that sounds so intelligent and so smart, you don't know what the hell they said? Now, I consider myself, I ain't the smartest, I ain't the dumbest either. But some of these people that be talking, they talk so intelligent and they sound so good, but you have no idea what the hell they said.
Intelligent brother. That's one thing you can't really take away from him. He's very intelligent. But I sort of fell back from Brother Polite when he started selling courses on felonious activities.
Tonight, we'll be talking about adverse possession, where this conversation says, hey, there's many properties that's off the market thanks to the compromise you created in the real estate market. Why should people go around looking to buy very expensive properties when there's that much more properties out here not being used, not being upkept, that we can conduct an adverse possession and bring it back up to date.
True. He seems like he got a good head on his shoulder, right? He seems intelligent. He seems like he knows, he got some business sense to him. Let's see what he got to say. Let him keep talking.
Bring it back up to par.
That's not how the law works. You don't just get to break into $1 million home, fix up the toilet, and think you now own the house. But that's what Brother Polight was teaching these people.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That's what he was teaching? He was. I'm thinking he talking about, selling homes and selling, getting businesses that are maybe, like in neighborhoods that need to be, I would say, made over, or somebody take the business and make it a better business. Putting money in, investing into a building or something. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. But real estate, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But he's talking about something different. So he's not talking about real estate.
Okay, so good faith standard is what we want to deal with. A good faith standard. But bad faith standard may not necessarily be bad, because you may know who the property owners are.
You ain't
a
lying.
Factory of some sort, and they just neglect it completely. They don't use it. They have no interest in it, and you adversely possess the property. They don't want to use it. You go in and you use it. Why should you go around looking?
Child, this brother. Again, like Brother Poetic said, it don't work. It don't work like that.
For one that's built when there's one already there. The law was constructed in such a way that it's based on interpretation, not based on legitimacy.
Okay, these brothers, they come from the conscious community. I mean, no offense if people come from the conscious community. I accept everybody. But some of the stuff they be spitting out their mouth is a little questionable.
Zachariah Latney, when he was 19 years old, he purchased Brother Polight's adverse possession course and decided to put it to use. And he managed to adverse possession his ass into a couple of felonies. Zachariah admitted that he was inspired by Brother Polight. So using Brother Polight's courses on adverse possession, he broke into a local hibachi restaurant that was abandoned, hopped in, made some fixes, and tried to file paperwork to own a property that was worth up to $1 million. Once folks realized what he was doing, they called the sheriff. Zachariah got arrested and ultimately got convicted and sentenced to 2.5 to 7 years in prison for following a Brother Polight course. Now, Zachariah at sentencing was given some leniency because the judge said it seems as if he was brainwashed by Brother Polight. Zachariah.
So you mean to tell me Brother Polight be brainwashing people? He done got a brother to break in an establishment that wasn't his and claim it to be his because oh my God. I done heard it all. Make sure y'all press the like button. I appreciate it if y'all press the like button, like, share, and subscribe. And now, since I'm monetized, you can send me a what is that, super chat, or you can send me a cash app if you want to bless me, be a blessing.
Admitted in court, the real estate or legal fiction book by Brother Polight inspired him to go out and try to steal his own properties. Zachariah still holds accountability, but if you're giving out bad advice that landed a kid in jail for 2 to 7 years, you're not really my type of guy. And this was even before I found out that he was out here scamming sickly people and leading them to an early grave.
Yo, what up, YouTube? So I feel people are owed an explanation of why the crypto course isn't happening. And the real reason is because Polight owes me over $100,000.
My God.
He owes me a lot of money. And he hasn't barely paid me anything. And the money I gave him was from my father's life insurance. I was sleeping on the beach and my father died from a heart attack. And I didn't know I was getting money. I got some life insurance money. He used me. He ended up using me.
Lord,
And him and his family were living off me. I was paying for everything. His cars were rented. I didn't even realize what was happening. And every time I got uncomfortable, and he would just either yell at me or like say, "Oh, I get it. I understand. You're going to make a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of."
This man sounds like a cult leader. That's what this man sounds like to me. Brother Polite. Were you a scammer and you a cult leader? Brother Polite, tell me it ain't so. You done got the brother's life insurance. Lord have mercy. These folks really need a conscience. Something wrong with these people out here.
Of money.
That brother name is Crypto Roots. He ended up passing shortly after without receiving a dime from Brother Polite. The exposing Brother Polite era of YouTube was an amazing time. Like, it was gold, grade A content. It was amazing. But even though the scamming is bad and the bad advice to lead kids to felonies, that's bad too. I don't think nothing raised people's eyebrows more than his defense of Dr. York, the convicted child molester.
But see, I'm speaking on behalf of the children or the people that had to testify or that testified.
Had to testify based on what that he did do something to them.
Well, I say had to testify because some people didn't testify. So some people felt it in them that they had to do this, like it's something that they had to do. For me, it felt like it was something that I had to do because one, like I told you, both of my sisters went through the same thing I went through.
And
both of my older sisters.
Do you mind sharing? I don't know nothing.
Sharing what? Okay, well, both of my sisters have been molested.
By who?
By Malachi York.
At the end of the day, he's locked up, so obviously they took y'all word over everyone else's. It doesn't matter. Like I told you, if we say he's innocent, when he's still locked up in prison, y'all word accounted for everything. Doc is being railroaded. That people are saying none of this has to do with the case as far as the government is concerned. The government don't give a damn about the accusations. Saying that are you hearing what I'm saying?
You got people saying
that clip is horrendous. Brother Polite is debating and arguing down an actual victim of Dr. York, who was molested at 12 years old along with his sisters. He's defending the molester and arguing the victim down and telling the victim how he's not a molester and how Dr. York was railroaded and he's innocent.
This Brother Polite, he's already gone. You are arguing with a victim, and he's telling you about his sisters who were molested by the same man. How can you? Okay, let me just.
It's absolutely insane. Now, usually people would assume if you're defending a molester on that level, the chances are you're probably willing and dealing in the same field he is. But my mind really don't work like that. See, how I work is I give people credit for being bad people. So if I go outside and get in an argument with a white dude who is shouting at me for no reason and being aggressive and mean to me, I'll just say, yo, he's a bad person. I feel like I'll be wrong if I automatically assume that white man was racist because I had a bad interaction with him. Mm-hmm. Just like I thought I would have been wrong by assuming Brother Polite was also a molester and a pedo, right? By him defending the pedo that much. But boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Because it turns out Brother Polite is actually a pedo. He's actually a molester.
Michael Nowak, a.k.a. Brother Polite, as you guys know, him as was just released from Miami, and he was charged with raping his girlfriend, 14-year-old daughter, okay, in a hotel room. All right, now, and before you say, oh, they're just trying to take him down, no, they got his motherfucking semen.
Brother Polite was arrested August 19, 2021 for sexual battery on his girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter. Polite reportedly alerted the mother that he wanted to have a conversation with the little girl in the hotel's lobby. But instead of staying in the hotel's lobby, Brother Polite actually took her and drove her to a party gave her a bunch of alcohol to consume, gave her a lot of drugs to take.
Okay, I blame that mother as well. First of all, this man is not her father. It's not a stepfather. This is her boyfriend. And mind you, he has other women. I don't know if they're his wives or just his concubines. I have no idea. But she's one of many, the girlfriend. So you're introducing this man to your 14-year-old daughter, and I'm pretty sure her 14-year-old daughter is developed, because most of the time these girls now are very, very developed. Okay. And not only does he have you as a girlfriend, but he has like 2 or 3 other women. And yeah, okay. See, I don't understand stuff like this. So I'm going to hold the mother responsible as well for that.
And once she was under the influence and barely mobile, Brother Polite raped her and then brought her back home intoxicated and under drugs and expected the mother not to call the police. The mom called the police, and that led to them doing like a rape kit. But despite the preponderance of evidence, including his semen being found on the 14-year-old girl, Brother Polite will still maintain his innocence.
Oh, peace, Brother Polite.
Hey, what's up, King?
Well, I want you to know I'm live. Do you want to talk or no?
I'm actually traveling, but what's going on?
All right. I'm quite sure you see the internet is lit up. People is talking crazy. And
yeah, Unc just told me something crazy.
Yeah, people are talking crazy that you had molested a 14-year-old girl. I don't know how true it is. That's why I said I'm not going to jump out the window. I'm not saying none of that until we can find out what's really good. And I don't know if you want to talk, or we could set something up probably tomorrow whenever you stop traveling or whatever.
You know we don't play those games. Just like when niggas was coming at me with all the goofy shit before.
Okay.
You know, when people make serious allegations like that, you know YouTube ain't the place where you deal with it.
Got you. I got you,
I stay with our whole fucking legal team. You know what I'm saying?
Say less.
But what I'll tell you is this. You know, I ain't no fucking weirdo. You see all the beautiful, voluptuous people I be with.
Yeah.
So I ain't a weirdo. That's what it is, but I know what it is for people.
His response to his semen being found on his 14-year-old girl was, you know I'm not no weirdo, man. I got a bunch of voluptuous women around me, as if that ever stopped other weirdos from chasing after young women. Now, Brother Polite would maintain his innocence and swear that he's innocent, even though his DNA, his semen was found on the 14-year-old girl. But his proclaim to innocence didn't last long because Brother Polite would plead guilty to the charges shortly after.
Well, it looks like I was right again. Brother Polite, also known as Michael Nowick, has pled guilty. Yes, you heard me correctly. Brother Polite has pled guilty to one, if not all, of these charges listed right here on the screen. Over 2 years ago, he was accused of having inappropriate dealings with a 14-year-old. And y'all came on here and y'all called me a coon, an agent, and a self-hating black man. Well, not only is your big homie a scammer, thief, and a liar, but now your big homie is a chomo. Don't believe me? Let's get to the footage with this attorney entering into the plea deal.
For the record, David Harris on behalf of the defendant, Michael Nowak. Okay, thank
Here we
you.
go.
And I believe there
See,
may
I
have
told
been
you guys, you
a
just
couple of
don't
people
time.
on Zoom. Okay, yes, ma'am. State.
Your Honor, I believe at this time we'll be asking for a joint continuance, but to set this case rate plea.
Or so we thought, because Brother Polite was so dedicated to fooling the public into thinking he wasn't a pedo that after it was caught on camera, his lawyer in court with the prosecutors telling the judge, hey, we came to an agreement on a plea deal. We just need some time to sort things out. Brother Polite would then come on his YouTube and say, I did not take no plea deal. I'm fighting this case. As a matter of fact, I'm suing anybody who reports I took a plea deal.
So I'm just here to address some popular rumors that have been spread to rectify the matter. There's been a rumor spread. There's two main rumors that's been spread. But the main rumor is that I have pled guilty to child molestation. So let me clear up the two things that need to be addressed. Did I make a plea? There's been no plea. Did I plead guilty to child molestation? Never did.
With that much conviction, with that much emotion, you would almost forget that Brother Polite is a pathological liar. Because after coming online and swearing up and down that he would never take a plea deal to abusing children or to molestation, well, Brother Polite took his happy feet down to that courtroom, pled guilty, and got sentenced to 7 years in prison.
Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of deliberate contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931. Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation.
And despite being captured on a Zoom call, pleading guilty to these charges and being sentenced to 7 years in prison, Brother Polite would drop a video shortly after the Zoom call ended. Now, he was led away in cuffs, so he's in jail. So this video was already pre-planned to be released. So he pre-released this video to where he's saying his charges were dropped, and thanks to the Most High, he's innocent.
Blessings in abundance. The mother and the daughter and the prosecution dropped every single sexual charge.
I'm sorry. This Negro, is he okay? Like, how you gonna sit up there and blatantly lie? How you gonna do that? So you know this Negro right here in front of us is a whole lie. You've just heard. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. All I can do is say, oh my God.
I'm saying it again. The mother, the daughter, my accusers, in addition to the state, the prosecution, all agreed they need to drop all of the sexual charges.
They ain't drop a goddamn thing. They upgraded the charges to felony aggravated assault that caused great bodily harm. Now, he's playing on semantics, thinking that nobody would know. But here's the thing. Like, he wants you all to believe that the judge and the court, they believe that he didn't sexually abuse his girl, when that's just not true, because the judge sentenced Brother Polite to also complete a sex offender program. He's able to avoid the sex offender registry, but he has to complete a sex offender program. If you didn't touch that girl, if you're not being charged with touching that girl, then why are they requiring you to complete a sex offender program?
Right.
It doesn't make no sense. And the mom was actually in court, and she gave a victim statement testimony, and it was powerful.
This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that, my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster.
So by no means are they dropping any charges, but thankfully Polite got 7 years, and the nightmare at least will be ceased for 7 years until he comes home and find another scam. But speaking of scammers, though, click on the video somewhere on my.
Shout out to Poetic Flatco. He is really good. I like his commentary, so check him out. Make sure you check him out and subscribe to him. He is awesome. I really like this video. He broke it down really well. This brother here is yeah. Now, Dimple D, you said he wasn't charged with any sex crimes. Is that what you were saying? Are you asking me or are you telling me? Let me find. And also I'm going to share with you Trey King. He did a commentary on it as well. Check out Trey King. He's from Texas. I like how he breaks down things with his country accent.
Nowak this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to.
YouTube, what's going on? Straight back again. Thank you all for another video. Hope y'all are having a very great day. Hope y'all are having a very great week. Also, my week is going absolutely incredible. Big shout out to all the channel members, all subscribers, the other Trey King Show family. Much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story coming out of Miami, Florida. Big shout out to everybody in the great state of Florida, everybody in the great city of Miami. Now, this guy is known to the YouTube streets and also to quite a few people in the celebrity realm, basically mentoring them and preaching his beliefs and ideologies upon certain people, as in Ron Artest and a few other celebrities. But what's more even troubling is the fact that this guy, Brother Polite, who's go by the name of Brother Polite, real name Michael Nowak Jr., you know what I'm saying, is facing some serious allegations. Now, I'm not the one to sit up here and charge anything, because like this, I wish the allegations weren't true. I'm not saying they are true. I'm not saying they are false. But one thing about it, where there's smoke, there's a fire. And one thing also, I want to give a shout out to Tasha K for basically breaking this story like she had broke quite a few ones. But we already know about the Cardi B situation, and I hope that situation is resolved and whatnot. But big shout out to Tasha K for basically breaking this story. Now, I'm going to give you all a little backdrop. I'm going to give you a screenshot first. What you have right here is Brother Sidnetta out of New York City by way of Harlem. Big shout out to Sidnetta. He confronted Brother Polite basically a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, about 5, maybe 6 years ago, where you had Brother Polite basically saying something about Sidnetta children. And Sidnetta was basically asking him, who children are you talking about? Then Sidnetta goes to tell Brother Polite, don't make me expose you. It then had something to do with Brother Polite girlfriend's daughter, which happened to be Sidnetta's wife, from what I heard him say, his wife, cousin, something like that. The little girl ran home and went to go stay with Brother Polite. That's from what I heard from the Sidnetta video. And I will leave a link so you all go check that out. But he has been accused before. So I'm not saying that he's guilty. I'm just saying it's looking very, very, very suspect. But anyway, this is grown folks talk, because like Polite said, this is absolutely outrageous, sickening, and I'm going to need you to get those sweet, precious, badass kids out the room right now. So it's grown folks have a quick dialogue and see what's really going on in the minds of Brother Polite. Get those kids out the room right now. Damn, it's cold.
Oh, so you said somebody was
get your stuff together, okay? Anyway, hopefully those kids out the room by now. If those kids are not out the room by now, tough, Double D Teddy. Now, I was searching high and low for information, because one thing about the Trey King Show is that I take pride in delivering number what? Facts. That's all I do all day, every day, like they say in St. Louis. Now, I'm searching high and low, and you all might be saying, well, Trey, if this happened or just recently happened, but no, it been happened from what I heard. If I'm not mistaken, around May the 4th. Yes, May the 4th, late that night. Now, from what I heard also was that Brother Polite was staying in a hotel, and the 14-year-old stepdaughter, mom, was staying in a separate hotel. I don't know why they were staying in separate hotels, but then again, I can understand why. Because allegedly, if you're going to do something strange for a little piece of change, you're not going to want to be in the same damn hotel. You're going to go somewhere else. So what allegedly happened is Brother Polite took the 14-year-old girl to a damn club. And I don't know what the hell a damn 14-year-old girl doing going to the club. How did she get in there or whatever? And the name of that club happened to be Club 1111. Yes, it's like a bar in there. It's a dance floor. Well, basically, it's a social gathering place where you can go get your little groove on and also get a little bite to eat. So the story goes upon being at that club, they went back to a room. And while in that room, Brother Polite allegedly gave the 14-year-old girl some drinks. The girl became intoxicated, and lo and behold, the The story goes, he grabbed the back of her head and pushed it down toward his genitals and wanted some top. And she allegedly passed out, but when she awoke, she found Brother Polite fingers in her throat trying to make her throw up. And we already know what she was trying to throw up if the story is true. Evidence. But anyway, I'm not going to tear it too long with this story. I'm going to read a quick snippet, and I'm going to give my opinion. All of it. Surely, as we go. According to court documents, TS, the initial TS stands for the 14-year-old girl, because the reason why we have not seen this on the news in Florida, because I would have been reported it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are. When you mess with these children or you're doing something wrong, guess what? We coming for you. But anyway, now, due to the laws they have enacted in Florida, if you have rape victims or whatnot, because they used to post up the rape victims' names, no matter how old or young they was. They showed a picture, all kinds of information. They stopped doing that. They passed a rape victim law in Florida. What are rape victims' information? It also said case mostly be private. You hear
Ace, how are you?
certain little leak things. Certain things may leak out in the public, but not the whole information. So that's why this was not all over the news, because people was wondering why, and I was also until I remembered. You feel me? That they keep this kind of like on the hush hush, on the low low. I don't know how the hell your girl Tasha K got it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to fire my damn team and get with some of her team. But anyway, I'm just joking.
Okay, Dimple D, you said Carcino, he broke it down. Charge him with something called intent with minor. Okay. We're gonna see. I'm just glad he was charged and he is in prison for 7 years.
Okay. According to court documents, TS stands for the 14-year-old girl. The 14-year-old victim was taken to an after party by Noe, who requested permission from her mother to speak to TS, intended to use this private time between himself and, I guess the name below, if you all can see that name, Oracle, whatever that damn name is, daughter, to mend the relationship between the mother and the daughter. Pause. Wait a minute. Think about it. Why in the hell do an outsider, and I know sometimes it takes an outside source to mend a relationship. Yes, it does. But why would you need to mend a relationship? What is really that wrong? Well, you have to take a girl, a little child, to a damn nightclub to talk to her basically about her mom and their relationship. I mean, make that make sense. I don't understand that. Anyway, it's supposed to mend the relationship between the mom and daughter, but things evidently, allegedly, took a left. Now, also it says Noack, which is Michael Noack, Brother Polite real name, took his victim to Club 11 on 29th Northeast 11th Street, Miami, Florida. Upon arrival, the club was closed. The two went to a hotel room at 1100 West Avenue, Unit 319, Miami Beach, awaiting a new party location. So why in the hell is this little girl out trying to party that late at 14 years old?
And see, this is what I'm saying. That's why I said the mother is held responsible for this. You know what I'm saying? You don't let your 14-year-old daughter go with a grown man, you know, that is not their father to go party. Like, what kind of sense does that make? Can anyone drop my link? Chicky, can you drop Ace link? Ace, I didn't know you had a channel. And if you can, some of the moderators that's in here, can you drop some content creators links? Ace has one, Dome has one, brother Ben has one, Chicky has one. If you can just drop people's links in the chat, I would really, I think, and Channel Forbes has one. Drop their links in the chat, please. Now, does that make sense to y'all? Does that make sense to y'all? And see, I blame these men. Of course, I do. He deserves more than 7 years. I can tell you that, because I feel like he's probably done a lot more dirt that we don't know about. But the fact of the matter is, that's her mother, and she is supposed to protect her child. Your child should not be with another grown man. You know, that doesn't make any sense. Hey, Miss Queen, how are you, sweetie? It doesn't make any sense at all. Like I said, parents, you need to, especially when you have girls or boys in this day and time, because people are molesting and raping boys. You need to be careful about your children. I'm gonna stop that one right there. Yeah, you need to be careful who you let around your children. Now, O'Shea Jackson did a wonderful job. Shout out to O'Shea. He had a very good commentary talking about this from the Celebrity Junk. And check him out. I have subscribed to him as well. Subscribed to a lot of people on here that have really good content. I want you guys to, O'Shea, he is silly, but yeah, I like him. I really like his commentary a lot. I want y'all to check this out. Because I was like, he did a really good job on this. It's short.
So as you know, Brother Polite, who was completely delusional, has been sentenced to 7 years in prison. And of course, Brother Polite is a scammer. He is a liar. He'll say anything to make anybody feel however they want to feel. But the truth is the truth.
Oh, we're witness to that. He said earlier that they dropped all charges and that he's free. He said earlier, knowing good and well, he admitted to the charge, what he did, and then they charged him with 7 years. Scott,
and we cannot get around that. But unfortunately, I want to release the mother's testimony of the young lady that he actually offended, he assaulted, and it is very touching. I will let you know that. I do want to play that particular video right now, that audio now, and then I'm going to come back.
Michael Nowak, this is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain,
charlatan,
shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that, my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster, a demon.
So guys, this isn't the first time that Brother Polite has been outed for something like this. This is the first time he's been actually convicted, but Sonetta had some allegations against him a few years ago that were never brought to court. He was hanging out with some young lady in Thailand. And as you know, Brother Polite has, I would say, several wives. Okay, and I guess this lady was one of those wives. Now, again, a lot of the times in the pro-Black community, which I am a part of the Pan-African community, I'm not one of those people that believes like, let's say like him or Dr. York. I know some brothers do believe in some level of polygamy, and I'm not against people who do that. But when it comes to using that power for granted, such as taking advantage of somebody's daughter,
good to see you.
That's the issue, big issue, right? Because if you have more than one wife and those ladies are legal age, that's your business if you want to live your life in that way. But now, once you're dealing with young people underage, and especially the mother who trusted you, and you're out there, again, Brother Polite is one of those. He feels that he can talk his way out of everything. He feels like he can do whatever he wants. He can scam somebody out of everything. And you might be able to scam some people some of the time, but you can't scam all people or most people all of the time. And this is what happens when your charisma juice runs out. He's tried to scam everybody, but unfortunately, you can't scam these folks. And he thought he had enough game to be a predator. And really, he just got exposed for who he is. But now I want to just say this, and I want to say this with some level of caution. All right, because I know the mother is going through something, and I do want to be a respectable brother with this, but I have to ask the young lady who was making this statement, honey, what did you expect from a guy like Brother Polite? What is it about him?
Did y'all hear what I said earlier? For those who were here earlier, first of all, the man has, like I said, I didn't know if they were concubines or they were his wives. He has several wives, and Miss Lovely said he has 5 wives, and he probably has more side chicks or concubines on the side. He has more than he needs, right? Sometimes, not all, but sometimes men that are like that, they wouldn't mind sleeping with your 15 or 14-year-old daughter either. They see them just like a woman, just like you. And that's why I say these women that have these single mothers that have these girls and boys too, you need to be very careful about the people that you end up dealing with in a romantic relationship. You will have a situation just like this. What did she expect? This man has been scamming probably since he's been talking, since he's been alive. He's probably been scamming at a young age. He learned how to have the gift of gab. He's not a looker. I mean, we can look at him and see he's not a looker. So he got a good mouthpiece. But again, sometimes I'm going to say, not all, but some women are blinded by, I guess, some type of fame or celebrity, because, he's around other celebrities, like maybe some rappers and stuff like that. So he's kind of well known in the conscious community, Pan-African community. So most women are attracted to power. They're attracted to power or money. And if you have both, that's even better. And then if you have a good mouthpiece, that's even better. Why do you think so many women are attracted to preachers? They're attracted to men with some type of authority and power. And I'm assuming that's what attracted her, but it blinded her, from making the right choice for her and her daughter.
That made you trust him. Okay. And again, this is the problem that we have in the Black American communities. We love to be enamored by scammers. This is something that folks like. Mm-hmm. All you need to do is to be able to talk good, make empty promises, not be the man you're supposed to be, continuously lie, continuously cheat people, continuously hurt the people in your community. And Brother Polite has been doing that to the conscious community for a long time. Wow. And let me just say this, as a person that is a part of the greater conscious community, as a person that I will give my brother some flowers here. He hasn't always, we all make mistakes, but Brother Sonetter, he's done a lot to develop what you would call the conscious community, and some of us brothers in the Pan-African community here on ground. The reality is that a lot of our people are so big on charisma and not building. And when we are supposed to be, we have the women in our community, a lot of the brothers is out here, some of the brothers, let me just say, that are blowing up, they're out here trying to live a sexual fantasy. And when you have more than one wife, or women in general, that's the farthest thing from a sexual fantasy. It's a lot of work taking care of women. It's a lot of work building in the community. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the sisters, they've never seen a real man before. So what they do is they gravitate towards somebody with a mouthpiece. And then once they mouthpiece you, they're going to start to brainwash you. And a lot of these brothers is deviants. Oh, and it's like, Brother Polite, how many women do you need, bro? You was out here scamming. You was getting these folks money. You had all kind of women to your advantage. You had white women. I mean, you know, a underage young lady girl.
I understand, Queen, what you're saying. She might didn't know what, you know, this person and how he was on the internet, like what people were saying. But sometimes you gotta use a little bit of discernment and common sense. Like, damn, like it's just some things in life you don't have to sometimes look at the internet. You can kind of just observe a person. But if you are kind of lacking in discernment and common sense, you'll miss it every time. So some people just don't have it, and or they're too blinded by what looks good or what feels good at the time. So I'm not saying like, you know, we just gotta sometimes not just hold ourselves accountable. I mean, parents are supposed to protect their children at all costs. Not to say that she meant for him to do that. She wanted him to do that. No. But at the same time, you have to think about your child before you think about yourself and your pleasure. That's all.
Girl like that, what could she do for you? Nothing. But again, it's a power thing. And you're out here so goddamn silly. You're so full of shit that, you know, you think that your stuff don't think. And now you're out here talking about now the charge is about to be dropped. Ain't no charges about to be dropped, bro. You're going to jail. You just pleaded to all the stuff, meaning that you took a plea deal because you knew you was guilty. Stop trying to make, it's the same thing with Jay Morrison. It's the same thing with Brother Polite, with Boyce Watkins. It's always trying to scam everybody to make them believe something that don't make no sense. And I'm sorry, man. There are certain things you're not going to be able to do in the black world. Okay? You need to show, and you be the same people that say the black woman is God. My question is to the young lady is, what in the hell did you think you was going to get from a guy like this? Who taught you that somebody like him was somebody you can be with? You have a daughter. I'm pretty sure Polite got pretty good taste in women. I'm pretty sure you're a very attractive woman. So what are you dealing with a man that's acting like that? You've already agreed to be the fourth or fifth or sixth wife, and then you allow a con artist like this guy to be, you know, ahead of you and your kid. And it's like, okay, you're crying, and I get that. But at what level, honey, are you going to say, okay, listen, you know what? The kind of people that I like, is something was wrong with that. You know, something is wrong with my level of taste. When are you going to say that? As a black woman, when are you going to say that? And so many people put their kids at risk, you know, just on some silly stuff that don't make no kind of sense. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk.
Again, shout out to O'Shea, Celebrity Junk. If you have not subscribed to him, he, you know, I've always liked him. Check him out if you haven't already. But yeah, we just have to, you know, we as adults, we just have to just start taking accountability for our poor decisions. Like I said, we all do it. I mean, nobody is exempt from making bad decisions. But being accountable for it is what sets you apart from others, you know, because some people never take accountability. I'm gonna share with you about Danny I'm hopefully I'm pronouncing this right. Masterson. Danny Masterson. He is a childhood actor, as well as he acted in the 70s show. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it when you were coming up. Like, I think it came out like in the early 2000s, I believe. And I had no idea that this guy was like this, you know. And again, we don't know these people. We think that some of these celebrities, they got it good, and most of them do have it good. They're living lives. You would, you know, having a good time. You would never think that some of the stuff they would be so devious about. And they definitely are very devious in a lot of their situations and events and different things that they do in their lives, you're kind of like, how did they get in that when they have it all together? So we say, he has been brought up, I believe, as a child up to an adult into the Scientology religion. And a lot, like I said, a lot of Hollywood stars are into Scientology. I believe their religion is science. I'm assuming with it being Scientology. I know a little bit about it, but to me, it's basically, some people say it's a cult. So I don't know. I've just done just a tad bit of research about it. I just know that some celebrities that go into it, they come back out saying a lot of different like horror stories. So and that's allegedly, they have, hidden a lot of things from what actors and actresses they done. They, kind of hide some of the things that they have done to other people in the Scientology community, because they see celebrities basically higher up, above just the regular folks that go to that Scientology church. So I'm going to share with you his story if you were not aware of it, because at one point I did watch the 70s show. Like I said, I believe it came out in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. So it's really interesting. Hey, Lon, how are you, sweetie? It's very interesting. I can tell you that, because you'd be like, what do these people be thinking about? I'm going to share with you the untold story of Danny Masterson.
Sentencing Danny Masterson, star of That 70s Show, to 30 years to life behind bars.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're examining the professional life and eventual criminal charges against actor Danny Masterson.
So I'm loving spending my bachelor party in jail. What are you guys gonna do for my birthday?
Born on Long Island in 1976, Danny Masterson was raised in what would become an acting family. He's the older brother of Christopher Masterson and half-brother of Jordan and Alana Masterson, all of whom would follow in Danny's footsteps. At just age 4, a young Danny Masterson got his start as a child model before moving over to commercials, appearing in over 100 by the age of 16.
Make sure when y'all come in, press the like button for me,
Masterson would be
please.
best known for starring in television shows, making his first appearance in an episode of the crime drama Jake and the Fat Man when he was 11.
You're gonna be a good boy and have a safe trip, huh?
You promised we'd go surfing.
Look, I tell you what, we'll go next time. How about that?
After making his movie debut in 1993's Beethoven Second, Masterson had sporadic appearances on multiple notable shows before booking a steady gig on the 3rd and 4th seasons of Sybil. But it was his subsequent audition for a series then titled Teenage Wasteland that would alter the course of Masterson's career. Despite being considered too old, being in his early 20s, Masterson landed the role of Stephen Hyde on the series, now known to the world as That 70s Show.
Like, there's this guy who invented this car that runs on water, man. It's got a fiberglass air-cooled engine and it runs on water.
So it is a boat.
Running for 8 seasons, the sitcom proved to be one of the most popular on TV. In addition to the ensemble cast, Masterson received strong marks for playing the show's resident tough guy. Unfortunately, outside incidents during his time on the show would follow him decades later.
Fez, I don't know why you're smiling, but I promise you won't be when I sell your ass for a pack of cigarettes.
In March 2017, Masterson was met with sexual assault allegations from 3 women whom Masterson had previously known in the early to mid-2000s through the Church of Scientology. It's also been reported that Masterson was in a long-term relationship with one of them. While some specifics in the incidents vary.
So this started way in 2001. So that was like what 23 years ago? 2001. So the first incident happened in 2001, and then he had one shortly after that, a situation that 2 women said that he raped them.
They all reportedly took place at Masterson's home in the Hollywood Hills after he supposedly served them beverages that made them disoriented. While associated with the church, the women were reportedly dissuaded from taking action against a fellow member, especially one as high profile as Masterson.
The shocking response was classic Scientology methodology. The women were victim shamed and predictably forbidden from reporting to police.
One of the plaintiffs.
Wait a minute, they were forbidden? Isn't that kind of what cults do? So the people, I'm assuming some of the leaders of the Scientology church forbidden the women to report this. I'm assuming to the police that Danny raped them. Wow.
Later state that she, quote, wishes she had reported him sooner to the police. One of them did reportedly go to the authorities in 2004, but the only thing that came of this was her subsequent ostracization from the church.
The consequences for a Scientologist, if they were to violate that, where Scientology will then work systematically to destroy your life, your family, your livelihood, and silence you.
While Masterson predictably denied the allegations through his agent, his reputation had already begun a decline from which it would never recover. Beginning in 2016, Masterson had been appearing in the Netflix sitcom The Ranch alongside his That 70s Show co-star Ashton Kutcher. However, after a fourth allegation was leveled at Masterson in December 2017, the streaming service...
So it's 4 now. He has 4 allegations of either rape or, I'm assuming, inappropriate relationship, as far as like maybe inappropriate touching or something like that. Let's see.
Promptly fired him. This proved to be a wise decision, as a 5th allegation followed soon after.
So they prompted to fire him, and then after that he had a 5th allegation.
Take the bag and disappear, or you disappear.
By the time Netflix began developing the sequel series to That 70s Show, appropriately titled That 90s Show, Masterson was the only living main actor from the former not asked to return. Additionally, the character of Hyde wasn't even mentioned when the first season debuted in January 2023.
Yes. What are you doing here? Donna. Oh, this is so great. The old gang is here.
Masterson's legal troubles officially began in August 2019, when 4 women filed a lawsuit against him.
Another named plaintiff, Chrissy Bixler, claims Masterson was controlling and violent when they lived together as a couple in the mid-90s.
The lawsuit was also aimed at the Church of Scientology for claims of harassment in the organization's supposed defense of Masterson. The church has been accused of conducting a fair game campaign against the plaintiffs, whereby they employ any means necessary to silence their enemies. In this case, this reportedly includes property damage, libel, and animal abuse.
It is unsettling, it's disturbing, and it's just not limited to the home.
This is in addition.
So let me ask y'all this. How long y'all think he thought he was going to get along with this? I wonder, how long did he think he was going to get away? He was going to get away with all of these allegations, like his money and his church, Scientology church, was going to sweep all of this under the rug, and he was still going to be, a free man. I sometimes wonder, when people do things like this, like really serious things like this, like, do they just do it to get out of a thrill? They get a thrill out of it. I wonder, because I'm pretty sure they know eventually they could get caught. So are they just stupid, or do they get a thrill out of getting caught? Because again, this started way in 2001. And he's a Hollywood star. Why do he feel like, why was it in his head that you can take from other women? Like, you're making money. I'm pretty sure some women would just sleep with you just because you're a celebrity, you're an actor, not all women, but some women would. So why do some men feel like they have to do this type of sexual deviant stuff, and they think they're going to get away with it? So this guy that is you see on the screen, I believe he also approached his wife as well. And he this guy here that I have up here, he reported it to the leaders in the Church of Scientology, and basically they tried to make him hush, and his wife, about the situation. Let's see what they did.
To singer Cedric Bixler Zavala, who alleged the church fed rat poison to one of his pets after he accused Masterson of assaulting his wife.
Rat poison. Wow, that's interesting.
Zavala even revealed that his band At the Drive-In song Incurably Innocent is based on the latter incident. While Masterson and his wife, fellow actor Bijou Phillips, continued to push back against the claims, June 2020 saw the case escalate to formal charges.
It's not easy.
And I'm gonna say this: why do these men? Sometimes they even have a wife at home. They going out here, but you know what? I don't know when him and his wife got married, but I believe this probably was going on while he was married. I don't know if he was married in 2001, but it's just like you have a whole wife.
To see our icons taken down, but this is just one of those circumstances where you just have to stand on the side of truth, and that's what these women are doing.
Yeah.
Masterson was charged with sexually assaulting 3 women, 1 back in 2001 and 2 in 2003. Unsurprisingly, Masterson pled not guilty in January 2021, having previously expressed confidence that the case would be thrown out. However, a preliminary hearing the following May resulted in the judge finding the witnesses, quote, credible, and the evidence presented, quote, sufficient to support the charges.
And specifically said that Scientology's policies do discourage reporting to police.
From there, Masterson's defense attorneys enacted countermeasures against the plaintiffs, accusing them of collusion, and one of accepting money from Masterson in 2004.
Masterson's defense attorney, Sharon Applebaum, said that all 3 women had credibility issues, motivations to lie, and that the incidents were between 17 and 20 years ago. Memories fade and change over time, she said.
A series of subpoenas were also requested, many of which the judge rejected on the basis that they were, quote, stunningly overbroad. A motion was filed to dismiss the case on a lack of pretrial evidence, but this too was rejected. Masterson's first trial ran from October to November 2022, in which he declined to testify or call witnesses to his defense. However, the jury was unable to come to a decision, unable to overlook inconsistencies in the testimonies and evidence, such as the supposed presence of a firearm during one of the assaults.
They actively coached and convinced the victims to, when they did report things, to not use certain words and not use certain terminology and not to say the R word and not to mention the firearm.
The result was a mistrial, with a new trial beginning in April 2023.
So the presiding judge is now allowing expert testimony on the Church of Scientology, of which Masterson is said to be a member.
On May 31st, Masterson was formally convicted of 2 of the 3 counts of sexual assault, with the third being hung by the jury despite an 8-4 majority for conviction.
After the guilty verdicts came in, Masterson was immediately handcuffed and sent to jail.
The following July, it was announced that the prosecution would not seek to retry Masterson to ensure this third conviction. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell.
Lon said it's power. Let me see that people do this. Watch them niggas say it's a thrill of doing wrong. This is why people think that they can get away with stuff, especially at something so serious as raping a woman for sexual gratification when you don't even have to do that. But some people are such sexual deviants. This is how they get their rocks off. They can't be touched. Yeah, they think they can't be touched. But guess what? It's not just celebrities. It's regular people just like you and me that think, oh, we can hurt or harm people and nothing can happen to us. Nothing will happen to us. You have family members that would molest, like an older cousin, molest their little cousin because they want that sexual gratification from taking it from a child, an innocent child. And they tell their child, don't say anything, or you gonna get in trouble just like I'm gonna get in trouble. You don't want both of us to get in trouble, do you? You have family members. You have your neighborhood guy or the lady around the corner. Like, it's regular people. It's people in the church, the priest, molesting the little boys. And he's thinking, well, it's okay because I'm not having sex with a woman. I'm not fornicating. But you're molesting and actually having sex with a child. It's regular people like me and you. They're not always celebrities. Sometimes they are in your household. And that's unfortunate. The church shout out, and they some thugs. Lonnie, she a mess. Demons are real. They need bodies to carry their deeds. Right, exactly. Like I said, it's some of the most innocent looking people that have the most deviant hearts. And they don't care what they do to other people as long as their need is met. Hey, Jasmine, how are you? Good to see you, sweetie. It's crazy.
To get notified about our latest videos. Masterson faced heavy legal repercussions. On September 7th, Masterson was officially sentenced to 30 years to life in prison, with no possibility of parole prior to 30 years being.
I don't think he's going to last. I could be wrong. He could, in prison, people change their lives, but they're behind bars. And he will be 70 years old if he gets out or if he's eligible for parole. He is 47 right now. So go figure. I don't see him lasting in there, to be honest with you. And I would hate to say this, but hopefully he won't commit the S word. But, a lot of these people that are used to having a silver spoon in their mouth, when it comes to this type of thing, actually being sentenced and for this long, and maybe not having parole, maybe not being eligible for parole, the only way they see out is death. But I don't wish that on the guy, but I'm just saying.
Served.
What's your reaction to the sentencing?
Pleased, and it was the right decision to make.
Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Charlene Olmedo had some choice words for Masterson at the time, presuming he was feeling, quote, victimized by a justice system that had failed him, but affirming that he was, quote, not the victim here. The plaintiffs in the case later felt similarly, with one of them calling him, quote, pathetic, disturbed, and completely violent. And that, quote, the world is better off with him in prison.
Another telling the court the 47-year-old deserves to be behind bars for the safety of other women, and she wishes she'd gone to authorities sooner.
Masterson was 47 years old at the time of his sentencing. meaning he will be well into his 70s by the time he's up for parole. That is, if he's ever released from prison. What do you make of the Danny Masterson scandal? Let us know in the comments.
Oh my God, this story from Watch Mojo. Please sub up to them. I get a lot of my stories from them and great commentary as well. Everybody that I have put up here has really good commentary. Check these people out. Again, Watch Mojo. This is more for like celebrity news. So I do watch a lot of that to see what's going on in the celebrity world. Yeah, check them out. But yeah, it's unfortunate how these people think they can get away with so much. And just think of all the secrets the Church of Scientology has held from the public, because they have so many wealthy people in their church. They have so many wealthy people in their church, and all of the secrets they try to keep under wraps. But like I said, every dog has their day. And everything that you do to hurt or harm people, what you do in the dark, it will come to the light. I think her name is Leah Remini. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but she played on a character. Well, I remember her when I was a child on not Baywatch. What was it? Saved by the Bell. She was a lifeguard at this is one of the older episodes of Saved by the Bell. I remember her first on that. And she was a lifeguard, and her dad was over this like what do you call that? Like golf clubs or something, and they were working there. The Saved by the Bell staff was working there. Then she ended up getting another show, and that was on Fox 4. I forgot what that was. What'd you say? She was the King of Queens. Yeah, King of Queens. Yeah, King. It was a beach club. Okay. The Kings of Queens. That's the show that she's really known for. And she is a former Scientologist. She allegedly, she was like, those people were crazy and that they were doing a lot of cultish things. And that's allegedly, going by her, prior, testimonies of what she went through when she was in the Church of Scientology. So I'm going to share a little bit with you on that story, but it relates to this guy here, Danny Masterson. So I'm going to share this with you. Yeah, it was a beach club. I said golf club, but y'all get it. I can remember that when I was a kid. I used to love Saved by the Bell. Sure this. Oh yeah, Yolani, that was my show back in the day. I used to want to be Lisa so bad.
Scientology and 3 former church members who say he raped them. Danny Masterson, best known for his role as Stephen Hyde on That 70s Show, which aired on Fox for 8 seasons, ending in 2006. Now 47, Masterson was convicted in May of raping 2 women at his home in separate incidents between 2001 and 2003. The jury deadlocked on a rape charge involving the 3rd woman. On Thursday, yesterday, Masterson, who continues to deny the allegations, was sentenced to prison, 30 years to life. Masterson's attorneys say he will appeal the convictions. But there is more to this story. Questions about the role of the Church of Scientology.
Me too.
And whether it played any role in why justice was so long in coming in this case. Scientology, a relatively new religion, is secretive and litigious and has regularly found its legitimacy challenged, including opposition from the medical community to its claims about mental health and e-meters, devices that supposedly monitor the body's electric flow, while so-called auditors ask would-be members questions to discover sources of trauma. The Scientology connection is important here because, as Rolling Stone reported, witnesses testified at the trial that Scientology has an expressly written doctrine that not only discourages but prohibits its members from reporting one another to law enforcement. Now, during their testimony and at the sentencing, as well as in separate civil lawsuits, Masterson's accusers said that church officials tried to silence them and cover up for Danny Masterson. During the trial, Variety reported that the women claimed, quote, the church dissuaded them from reporting Masterson to the police. Prosecutors argued throughout the trial that Masterson had taken advantage of his position in the church to rape women without fear of repercussion, and that the church forbid women from going to the police to report sexual assault, unquote. The Los Angeles Times says during closing arguments, prosecutor Ariel Anson told the jury, quote, the church tells his victims rape isn't rape. You caused this. And above all, you can't go to law enforcement, unquote. Hours after Masterson's sentencing, the Church of Scientology responded by re-releasing its statement from the day of his conviction in May. It says, in part, there's not a scintilla of evidence supporting the scandalous allegations that the church harassed the accusers. The church has no policy prohibiting or discouraging members from reporting criminal conduct of anyone, unquote. Among those in the courtroom yesterday to support the women, actress and advocate Leah Remini, a former member of the Church of Scientology, who's been an outspoken critic. She joins us now with Mike Render, a former Church of Scientology senior executive and Remini's co-host of the podcast Fair Game. Thanks to both of you for being here. Leah, let me start with you. Variety reports that one of the accusers, identified as Jane Doe #1, testified, quote, my understanding from Scientology my entire life was that you can never be a victim. Nothing ever happens to you that you didn't cause. No matter what condition you find yourself in life, no matter how horrible, you are responsible. You created that, unquote. Do you see Scientology itself on trial here in any way?
Well, it's not. Well, it should be on trial. They should have been a co-defendant in this case. Yes, Scientology policy is should be looked at. Unfortunately, they have tax exemption. But however, this is absolutely true. It's absolutely law. It's absolutely policy of Scientology. I was a Scientologist most of my life, and Mike, the former head of the Office of Special Affairs. And that is not her understanding. That is the law of Scientology. We are not allowed to report crimes to the authorities. We're not allowed to sue each other. So that's absolute law.
And when you watched the trial, Leah, what was that experience like?
It was heartbreaking. I've been involved supporting the Jane Does as well, Mike, for 7 years. I've had my own experiences with it. This is one story out of thousands, if not. I mean, I don't want anybody to think I'm being, I'm exaggerating for any reason but to tell the truth. However, this is just one of many cases that Scientology has been involved in attempting to obstruct justice. And Mike could also speak to that, but it's the absolute policy of Scientology. And I think they should be held accountable, which is some of the basis of part of the basis of my lawsuit, so that people can come forward, victims can come forward, people are allowed to report crimes concerning Scientologists, Sea Org members, as well as civilian Scientologists. People should not be in fear of retaliation for a multi-billion-dollar organization calling itself a church.
One thing I can say that is very evident in some of the cults and some of the religious groups, if you go against what they deem to be, I would say, if it's a certain type of person, whether it's a priest or a pastor or some kind of authoritative figure, and you try to go against that person because that person wronged you, you will have some people to, I would say, not only judge you, but also try to assassinate your character as well as basically turn their backs on you and make you out to be a liar. That's what I see in a lot of different like cults. When you say you don't want to be a part of it, enough is enough, you're a traitor. And they deem you as really the bad person, the evil person. And I see that in a lot of different religious organizations or cults. They do that to people.
Fear of what they do to people.
So the church has no policy prohibiting or discouraging members from reporting criminal conduct. I can't see with this other stuff up here. But basically, that's what they're saying now. But I'm pretty sure that's not all the way true on that. But I just, like I said, these stories really reached out to me because, like I said, these two men have gotten away with so much for a few years. And no one really held them accountable. I mean, some people would call their stuff out and be like, they're a scammer, they're a liar, they're a rapist, they did this to me, they did that to me. But all I said, like I said before, every dog has their day. We all are going to be judged for whatever we've done or whatever we didn't do. So nobody goes out of this world without reaping what they sow. Or like the Buddhists say, karma. Karma happens to us all. And at the end of the day, you better be making sure you're reaping good things instead of bad. Because whatever it is, good or bad, it's going to be exposed at the end of the day. Guys, I appreciate you for your time. We've been on here at 7 o'clock. I started at 7. It's now 8:34 where I am. I appreciate you guys for your time and your support. Again, make sure you press the like button, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all of you guys. Y'all are dear to my heart. I pray the best for you guys, for each one of you. And I hope the best for each one of you, that you guys flourish in whatever you got going on. And that, you know, you will be in good health and a good frame of mind, a good heart. Also, I want to say thank you for the Cash Apps, for the super sticker. I don't know if everybody's aware, but I was blessed enough to get monetized. And so I appreciate that for those who have donated. And even if you haven't donated, the fact that you're here, interacting in the chat, or just coming to say hello, pressing the like button, sharing my live, that is great. And that's enough for me as well. So I don't take anything light. You know, I'm very grateful for what people do, whatever they do, right? Starting in, I'm gonna say November, because I'm paying off some things. I'm gonna do some giveaways. Actually, Lon, if you're still in the chat, I'm gonna buy certain things from you so that I can give them to some subscribers. So, and like I said, I'm gonna try to do it once a month, you know, maybe twice a month. I want to do something giveaways to let people know that I appreciate you, that your presence is needed and wanted. Good night, Eshu. Good night to everybody. But I just want to say that to you guys, how much I really appreciate you guys. Hey, Atmosphere, thank you. Y'all are a blessing to me, and I want to be a blessing to you guys, like seriously. But the one thing I do do for you. What I am doing currently is I don't have to know each and everybody's situation, but I do pray for everyone, that everyone's in good health, that everyone is flourishing in whatever they're doing. So but I want to start thank you, Lon Lon. I want to start in November, start doing giveaways. And because I want to let y'all know I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, like I said, if it's about 1 or 2, I'm just glad that I ain't talking to myself, right? That's a blessing within itself. So thank you for that I'm not talking to myself, that I'm talking to somebody, somebody listening to me. So I appreciate you guys. I love y'all to Reese's Pieces, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And there's no cap in that, no cap at all. Thank you, Lon Lon. Thank you for the kisses. I that's no cap in that, for real, for real. So love y'all to Reese's Pieces. I don't have to know you to love you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And always remember, be good to yourself and try to be good to other people. Love y'all. Bye.